Hello everyone. Welcome. I've decided I'd do a little tier list, at least for the beginning of this patch. I feel like I've played enough 5-stack and a little bit of solo to experience the general trend of everything, of what at least I think the power levels of most things are. So I'll get straight into this tier list, you know. First of all, obviously, you can see the top thing. I'm putting Mime straight up here. Like, there has been a power swap nerf. I think, at least from what I've played of it, it feels almost unchanged. I believe the raw stat was 35 HP reduced per tick, which, as you get into the levels, it honestly doesn't change too much. I think Mime is still pretty much completely broken. Like, from what I've been playing, you can 1v3 anything. The only thing that you can't 1v3 is another Mime. If they're with them, actually, if you're 2 levels above the other Mime, you probably kill them anyway. So, Another, yeah, definitely balanced thing. Definitely needs to be changed. But, well, just, you know, can't complain as a Mime main for now, but definitely needs a patch soon. So we can get straight into Venusaur, which I haven't experienced too much of, honestly, myself. I'm going to keep him in B tier for now. Okay. B tier for now. I just can't imagine Venusaur is too great with Solar Beam. Like, it seems decent, but like, Mew now exists, right? Surely you just want to play Mew over Venusaur, especially with just Mew having the adaptability that Venusaur doesn't have. Maybe I'm being too harsh on Venusaur, maybe he's an A tier, but I think we'll see further down the line. Okay, Gengar's next, Genjar himself. Honestly, I've seen a lot of like good gameplay from Gengars. I'm not sure if I'm just experiencing like off games when I'm against it or having my team, but I feel like with blue buff giving cooldown reduction, it's like Hex build is actually kind of insane, and iframe's just kind of nutty with at least countering Mime, which I think is one of the top picks of the patch. So I think he can sit in A tier right now. Snorlax coming in. I think Snorlax is also still a good a solid A tier pick as well. Maybe my spread, let's see how the spread goes with everything. Maybe I'll readjust stuff later, but for now I'm going to keep him in A tier. I think he's a solid pick, and he can definitely put in some good work in this patch. Okay, so Gardevoir next. Honestly, I have seen almost no Gardevoir, and every time I have, it just gets destroyed by everything. I don't know if, do I want to call it completely useless? I don't know how useless I want to put him. Let's leave Gardevoir in D for now, honestly. I don't think anything really suits Gardevoir's playstyle at the moment. The jungle XP, it looks like it'll be good for Gardevoir getting the free XP, but I honestly don't think it does too much. Keep him at C for now. Okay, so next up is Absol. Absol, I think, is honestly like a pretty decent pick right now. It could seem to be able to play jungle and top or just split at anything. I think it's definitely deserving of a solid A tier. Yeah, its adaptability is also very good. Mobility is crazy. Like, you can go any of the builds, and it seems to kind of work. So I think that's a solid A tier. Okay, Garchomp. Something that, you know, you needs a lot of XP. I think Garchomp, with the new changes, is also pretty bad as well. It's another one of those things where you think it might be really good, but it just doesn't seem to play out in a good way, really. Like, everything gets experience. Garchomp doesn't really get over-leveled, it seems. At least, from my experience of it. It doesn't seem disastrously bad, it's just like, everything else is better, seemingly. So next up is Lucario. I'm happy with putting Lucario as still a solid A contender. Honestly, like, with top lane, having all the Natu spawns, like, it seems like it's made, like, top lane is made for Lucario. It just feels like it, exactly. Like, if you go E-speed, like, you get your level 5, as soon as Natu spawn, you're just having a field day, you're enjoying your life, you're hyper mobile in the jungle. Maybe I want to push him up to an S, but I don't know, maybe we need more time. Maybe we need more time to see what's actually optimal still, but this is where I want to currently put him. Crossel, I'm not too sure right now, either. Haven't experienced too many Crossels. But whenever he does, if you want to play the score type comp, which I think may be making a comeback, He may belong in the A tier, but I'm gonna keep him in B tier for now. People are mostly still playing crit X's across all, kind of fighting, not dunking too much. I think Crustle is really close between B and A. I'm not sure right now. Gonna have to leave him in B. So Greninja. I've seen a lot of people picking up Greninja, but he can snowball, but he also gets one shot by a lot of the picks that are currently taken right now. So I'm not too sure. Also, like, let me leave him down here for now. Crustle goes above Venusaur right now. I'm not sure if I do in between tier lists, but I definitely Crustle was like right at the top. Greninja. I think there's a lot of squishy targets, which is always good, but at the same time, I think I'll keep him in A tier as well. He definitely can snowball with a lot of the, as long as he's been playing Surf, like you can guarantee a lot of like extra mobility again. Like what's bad about mobility this patch? Like it's huge. Next up, Talonflame. I'm gonna drop him in A tier as well. As I said, mobility super good. You can play him score comp. You can just be a nuisance and just lure the enemies around. You pretty much have to play him score comp really, but Fly is very nice for just fly, like obviously escaping every enemy, getting the free dunks in, leaving, all that type of thing. I think it's a solid A tier pick. Charizard also, I think, is performing decently well as well. He gets the free early, like he gets a good early game, which is Charizard's weakest point, and then you know you can just play the game. So I think he deserves A tier as well. Okay, next up, Zeraora. Zeraora, you'd think also is one of those things which the early jungle XP would help, but I don't feel like he's living up to another expectation of what maybe people would have thought. I think he deserves B tier right now. Also, like it's one of those picks I haven't seen as much. Maybe there's a secret item build that people aren't running on him, or something else that may come up, but I'm leaving it B tier for now. Cinderace, I think currently it's just usually Cinderace and Greninja were like a very similar thing before, but I feel like Cinderace is just performing a little worse at the moment than Greninja. I have experienced some good Cinderace builds. Like his Unite charge is one of the longest ones in the game, so it takes a long time to farm, which you don't have good AoE clear unless you're going a Pyro Ball. You can kill stuff quickly with Blaze Kick, but I feel like it's just not as effective as Greninja, so I'm gonna keep him B. Eldegoss, I think is still a decent pick really. I think it's being underused right now. Like I was a big fan of Eldegoss still in the previous patch before the new runes came out. I'm really struggling to put in between A and B. Like a load of my picks are going to be between A and B, honestly. Maybe right at the top of B. Maybe the top of B for now. But I could be willing to push him to A. So Cramorant. Cramorant was nerfed. Pretty noticeably, I think. But he's still performing very well. Obviously, the combination of just dive, it's a hypermobile move. Like, you're going to be able to get everywhere. It's always going to be good. You're unstoppable. Everything to do with dive is great. Its Unite move can be super good at defending points. And obviously, it always does a lot of damage. Like, if people are fighting at choke points, like, Cram can be huge. And you can, yeah, I'm going to keep him in A tier as well. Now, Blastoise. Blastoise is one of those things which needs a lot of XP, you know. There's plenty of that in the new map. But I haven't experienced anything that, like, incredible about Blastoise yet. Maybe people are hiding it. Maybe they're saving it for later. But I'm going to keep him in B tier as well now. Pikachu. Honestly, I'm glad the little yellow rodent is not doing so great, and I'm going to drop him in C. Maybe I should move some. I'll check it later and see if I can move some into D. You know, got to have at least something in D tier. Actually, fine, Clefable can go in D tier. You know, not seeing any Clefable mains around at all this patch. Honestly, don't know why. I guess it's just terrible. So yeah, he can stay here. A9. I think A9 is also one of those picks. Haven't seen too much of again, but if you haven't seen too much of it, it's most likely not going to be as effective. I'm going to keep it down in this tier. Maybe I'll move some stuff around in this tier that could justify a different performance. I'll go around to A tier as well, moving some stuff I think too. Let me put this here. I think this order could be pretty good. Okay, now Wigglytuff. I think Wigglytuff is probably going to be decent in this patch. The only thing is its Unite move just doesn't feel like it has as much usefulness as it once did. I I haven't tested out fully rollout myself, which I'm going to be getting around to very shortly. Mime has just been too strong, and like I just wanted to enjoy playing Mime while he's in a completely broken state. But I think Wiggly belongs in solid B tier at the moment. Maybe we'll get a little push soon with some changes around, but we'll see. We'll see for now. Slowbro, I think, has very good uses. Honestly, I think Slowbro is a solid A tier at the moment. Like, there's so many things you can just Slowbro Unite and just completely ignore, or just like you just shut down. Like, Slowbro is always going to be good when there's some hyper carries that can just destroy through the game, and it's very tanky. Obviously, Mime kills everything, but I can't imagine anything else kills it too easily. Machamp, I also think, is a decent A tier as well. Like, it's another scaling pick, but there's so many ways you can ambush people with Machamp on this map. It's mobile again, obviously. Dynamic Punch nerfed, submission buffed. I think still, you know, submission I still think is pretty terrible, but I think it's a solid A tier pick. Okay, Blissey. I honestly don't think Blissey is as OP as it once was at all. You know, I'm happy. I'm happy I'm out of Blissey jail. I'm debating whether to put it A or B though as well. It's another one of those picks. It's another one of those. Probably A because of a lot of counters it can have. But like, honestly, Safeguard is probably pushing the way back again. Like, I was always a Safeguard fan myself. I just think so many things you can counter with Safeguard, so it's always going to have good use. And its Unite move, obviously, it's Blissey's Unite. It's disgusting. It's super strong. So Mamomswine. Mamomswine, I think, is underrated as well, a lot of things. But like, he's always going to be super tanky. I like the combo of Icicle Crash High Horsepower. I've been a fan of it since I tried it. Or since they buffed it, at least a long time back. But I'm not sure whether he deserves A or B. So I think I'll keep him in B. Whenever I'm usually torn, I'll keep him in number 1. So Sylveon. I think Sylveon is very strong with the current patch. Mainly because you can use it with Glaceon, you can use it with a few other things. You can always do the classic Sylveon plays. Everything's doing special attack damage at the moment, so Sylveon, I think, is it's definitely increasing that as well. It doesn't need as much XP. You can make pressure on the map, so I think it deserves to be here. A solid A tier. Greedent, I think score comp's coming. You know, this annoying Rodent is always going to be good. I'll chuck him up here as well. He's going to go above Talonflame. Let me move him here. Like, it's Greedent, you know. Everyone in solo queue is going to hate this. 5 stacks is super annoying still as well. Okay, Decidueye as well. I'm not too sure. Like, obviously, you know, my teammate plays Decidueye. Seems to be doing well. I haven't really seen any other Decidueyes though, so I'm not too sure if it's a B or A angle. I think, honestly, I'm putting too many things in A, but I do have S and S+, so I feel like maybe that's skewing some things a little bit. But also, you'll see in a bit soon. I'll keep this right at the top of B tier, right at the top. Okay, let's go for some Dragonite. Dragonite I also haven't seen too much of since the nerfs. I think it's still doing okay, but it's definitely not. It's you know, it's nowhere near as strong as it once was. So many things do so much damage. It feels to everything. I'm gonna have to keep him also in B tier as well. Okay, Serena still feels very strong. Like, you still can like create tons of pressure with Serena. Like, Triple Axel and Stomp are both good. Like, Serena, just everything about it still feels pretty decent. But the only issue is, like, it's another one of those things where if you play Triple Axel, you can die more easily just because that's how the playstyle is. You have to hit the spin to heal, and you're going to be going in a lot. So, but I still think it's a solid, maybe lower A tier pick. Trevenant, I think Trevenant's still pretty good. You get the free stacking gameplay, you know. Always is just going to make Trevenant a good option. I think it's just a solid A tier still. Aegislash, honestly, I think Aegislash is S tier. Maybe I'm biased. I feel like it's one of the things that can counter a lot of the strongest picks of the current patch. Just shield form's crazy, especially if you have a Mime or just another support with you, just anything. You can do so much work with it. I'm going to keep him in S tier. Hooper feels weird, but Hooper I think is Hooper's definitely down there. I think it's a B tier right now. Like, the base healing was nerfed. Like, it's maybe half the speed you healed it before. Everything about it just feels like it's just nowhere near as good. Like, Zapdos doesn't exist. You can't just rip. You rip Rayquaza, but it's not a guaranteed win. Like, people can defend very easily against it compared now. I think it's solid B tier. Like, it's not terrible. It's just definitely nowhere near what it once was. Duro? I'm not sure right now as well. Duro's another one of those picks where, like, you can get to the late game, but you can be one-shot by a lot of things still. Like, you need a lot of supports to make it work, which I don't think is what you want in this current map. So I'm going to keep him in B as well. Maybe I'll keep him underneath these guys. Azumarill, I do not like Azumarill. I've seen some people rating Azumarill higher. I don't think he's that high. Maybe I'll be proved wrong, but I think it's a B tier, like low B tier. Espeon did get patched, or buffed, I mean, not patched. I think it definitely helped. It helped its early game, but I think it's a B tier as well. I don't think it's too incredibly strong. Its early game is always going to be like huge pressure just because of its insane last hit in lane, but you can just rotate and do more things around it. Like, I think the other evolutions are just better, which we'll come onto in a second. Delphox. Okay, Delphox, Flame Charge buff. You get blue buff for cooldown. I think Delphox is super good. I'm a big fan of Delphox, especially special. It's a special attacker. Everything's shredding special as well. Like, I think it's a high A tier at the moment. Very strong pick. You can pretty much always get to late game as well. Level 11 is all you need. You pop it off. Okay, Glaceon straight into S+. I think Glaceon's the second strongest pick of the patch. The only thing that kills it, I think, like, obviously it's squishy, but like I think the main thing that counters it is Mime. Like, from what I've experienced, Mime just kills everything. Maybe an 8. Honestly, I think Aegislash is one of the best counters to Mime, but that's what I'm thinking right now. But yeah, Glaceon by far incredibly strong. Mime's going to be nerfed soon in my opinion. Glaceon may not be touched as much. I think these two, yeah, like, you're going to see them a lot at the moment. Buzzwole. I think Buzzwole's a solid A tier at the moment as well. It's one of the things which I see, and it just surprises me each time. Like, it got some buffs as well. Leech Life just heals crazy amounts. Like, the other builds, I think Smackdown's still good. Like, it's Smackdown, you can still smack down Regieleki, all stuff like this. Like, you can knock people hugely, like, over areas of the map, which is, I think, is super good in this patch. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of Buzzwole. Want to see more of it played. T-Tart, still also very strong pick. I think it's right at the top of it. Maybe even S tier actually. Like, the only thing is the early game is the issue, but I think I'm gonna keep it in S tier actually. Its the ability to defend against Rayquaza is just crazy. Like, what more can you want? You do true damage. You ignore the shield. Like, you just stop it from dunking easily. So like, I think it's straight in S tier. Okay, Mew, I think it's S+ tier as well. I think Mew, when played well, can completely carry games. Like, you think of Mew as a support, like, you see it, like, it looks super squishy, it's got some support abilities, but it does it's Venusaur but better, it's Blastoise Surf but better, it's Electro Ball, it's, you know, it's not as long range as Electro Ball, but it's huge for last inning. It's just it can do whatever you want, really. Like, maybe Mew will even go up soon, maybe we're not even scratching the surface of Mew. I feel like people are just getting better, so it keeps on going up. Okay, and now the rest of these three, who knows? Keep them in D tier because they're not out yet. We'll see very soon. Predictions, though, if you want me to predict what they will be. I think Scyther's going to be B. Maybe even C. Scizor going to be low A. Dodrio, I think, is also going to be, like... I think these two are going to be decent picks. Like for now, I've only seen some gameplay of these. These, obviously, no idea right now. I think this is looking like a solid overall tier. Not too many in C tier. I think most things are playable. Like, if you put anything this patch, honestly, out of these lot, it's okay. But I think these top 5 are like the ones you're gonna see in like very, very many of your games. And yeah, with that, I think the tier list is done. Don't at me if you actually, yeah, at me in the comments if you think anything is completely off. Flame me if I've rated your main C tier. All you Pikachu lovers out there, unlucky. And yeah, thanks for watching.